The president has been in Sagana for a number of days. That again has gotten very many people to start figuring out what it is that is informing his stay there. But one of the elements and subjects of conversation has been that a reshuffle is imminent. That we've seen those who have said that the cabinet secretaries who now stand suspended by virtue of being implicated in the list of shame should not be reinstated, that he should get other people to sit in. He's halfway past now his mark as president. Do you think this is what he needs to perhaps start heading in the right direction for those who've argued the country is heading in the wrong direction?
There is serious need for rethinking almost everything. There's no question about it. And the retreat to Sagana, it's welcome. And the expectation is that within a few days, we shall see new directions in some areas, that we shall see new appointments to strategic places or
like?
positions. Maybe the expansion of the cabinet.
Further expansion, we already have one more.
I mean, the Constitution allows 22.
Correct, so 3 more.
And still have 3 more. Maybe the new people to be appointed, whoever they are people that people can say, yeah, that one is to that place and that kind of thing. Build up on the confidence base. We need to instill confidence in the area of security, because the general picture is that we have a problem.
And what would inspire confidence? There's already changed management, so what else?
Well, I think there's need for a good campaign. There has not been adequate campaign on how to make people feel secure. It is true that the sporadic attacks, actually they are not quite sporadic, they appear as if they are well organized from one place to another. And the image is that there is a campaign to discredit the government as constituted and show it that it is not capable of protecting its people. The ultimate goal for that is another matter. But these attacks are not just random. And they seem to be well coordinated in such a way that when people start raising questions, can this government protect us? That is a very serious question. Questioning the legitimacy of the government of the day.
Okay.
So there is need to do some serious campaign to ensure that the legitimacy, sense of it, is legitimate to the public mind, and not to increase this questioning habit.
Is a reshuffle what we need going forward, madam? Is a reshuffle what the president needs to consider going forward?
I think 2 years, almost halfway through, because this period will be about 4 years plus. Halfway through, the president and his team must sit and reevaluate and see where we have gone wrong, what things have not been done right, and look at what needs to be done in the next level. So as usual, be it here, be it in America, so what the president is doing is looking at what we've done. We have had several failures. We have also done very well, except the opposition has been very good at pointing out the failures, but not saying, here you've done right. There's also the element of national integration. We need it more than ever before. And maybe next round you may hear that Sir Hassan Omar is cabinet secretary, and for purposes of national integration, and then we have to deal with the question of security again, and then growing the economy. You saw the economy shrunk due to these challenges that have come in. If you attack tourism, you attack the economy. If you attack various aspects of our trade. So all this the president is looking at, then he comes up with another program that will do us 2 years. I had also pointed out earlier that although the heat was too much from our brothers and sisters, the president also needed time to settle. For a whole year and a half, he was battling with ICC. You can't rest, you can't even sleep. And then you have a battle with Al-Shabaab, he's the commander-in-chief, we are at war in Somalia. So it is now that he has settled and is looking at the way forward. And I would urge all of us to give him first the benefit of doubt, and then secondly, support, especially from my brother, Senator Omar. And we will do well. The country has potential, and we are heading there.
It's tragic if 2 years down the line, the president is still trying to settle, no matter what the challenges are. These offices come with certain inherent challenges. It's not a joke. It's not like it's like a conventional business or the routine that now I'll do ICC for one, and then a president must be able to juggle around myriad of challenges that present itself on a day-to-day basis or even by minute-to-minute basis. But I think if President Kenyatta has not realized that he needs to shake up the very core of his own management, then I can tell you for a fact the battle is easier than we imagined in 2017, because they've been on a downhill. You see, I remember when I was trying to have an issue with the latest Innovate report, which put Kenyatta at 49 or something thereabout and Raila at about 28, 29. But then somebody was making an analysis for me. One of these pollsters says if you look at any time where they've done this polling, the incumbent president has always had a popularity domain. But what they're saying is Raila's has been, or the CORD one, has been very static. It's been at that mark, 29, 30. Uhuru has been slipping from 70, 75. He said their first polling was at about 72. So it's now at 49. He has lost, you need to look at that critique where he's lost about 30 percentage points in the last many years, I mean the last 2 years. So they were saying, in fact one of our friends...
Has it been declining or have you sometimes seen jolts? Because
after
State of the Nation, you saw it again go up to 80%.
Pardon?
After the State of the Nation address, it went back up.
Yeah, because of the euphoria it created. But that's a different, it's a perception. There are two types of researches, the perception and the electability. Right. You can have a perception, and then you go into a contestation like PLO. The perception is that he's an electable guy. He's likable across. When he went and he ran against Mbugua, he was thoroughly and roundly beaten for the Kamukunji seat. So I think what happens is if I were president and people took me back there, I would be very cross. And I believe that maybe in the next two, three days, as it's so to speak, 2 or 3 weeks, let's see that him taking charge. You know, there's a point at which they said, and this is my final point, there's a point at which they said George Bush Jr. started becoming president of the United States, the 9/11 attacks. Okay. Before that, he was not president of the United States, and I want to believe that there was that point which has arrived.
Yeah.
No, just to add, I think the president made a very interesting statement that he will stop talking and doing things. Mm-hmm. You know, it was a telling statement, and maybe he should follow it up and just let people see actions. Pa, 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 pa. Okay. And he's a very popular man. He's a very likable fellow. Wherever he goes, people get excited. That is true. But there is something that needs to be visible.
Okay.